associated with vaping. The New Mexico Department of Health has ordered the labeling of marijuana products and issued a public health advisory about the dangers of vaping as severe lung injuries associated with it use continue to rise across the country. Roughly 1,080 lung injury cases associated with vaping or e-cigarettes uses and 18 deaths have been reported as of October 1st. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, New Mexico has tracked 15 cases of individuals, 6 who were younger than 21 years old, who developed a severe lung injury from vaping, requiring hospitalization as of October 4th. According to the state's Department of Health, 7 counties, including San Juan County, have reported cases. The department urged residents to stop vaping until health investigations on the lung injuries have been completed. Vaping is having devastating long-term effects with very severe lung injuries, said Dr. Sugar Singleton with San Juan Health Partners Urgent Care. It's not an injury that is short-term, and when you get better, it's long-term consequences. The labeling order requires all medical marijuana products and manufacturers to label their vaping products containing THC with this statement: warning, vaping cannabis-derived products containing THC has been associated with cases of severe lung injury leading to difficulty breathing, hospitalization, and even death. New Mexico Secretary of Health Kathy Hochul emphasized the department was not issuing a ban, but did want the community to know there were health risks associated with vaping. Both THC and nicotine vaping lung-related injuries is uncharted territory in public health, and it is important that residents know the health risk that if they could make the choice to continue using any vape products. Kinkle said in a public statement, the long-term dangers of vaping, especially THC products, remaining unknown, Singleton said, is on the forefront of all public health centers and is an ongoing concern since the e-cigarettes commerce is targeting the youth population. Many of the vaping companies sell flavored cartridges, which many experts consider the root cause of the recent surge in the youth nicotine rate. As the flu season approaches, many doctors worry it could complicate the diagnosis of the vape-related lung injuries. The common symptoms associated with the injuries is cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, and fatigue are also seen with the cold and the flu. Singleton urged people to see a physician if they experience any of the symptoms, and to disclose to their doctor if they are using e-cigarettes or vaping THC products so that they can be properly diagnosed.
This story is from the Durango Herald. After 2 decades in the United States, Alejandra Juarez thought she had made it. She came to the country illegally after fleeing violence in Mexico, but had built a middle-class life in Davenport, Florida, with her husband, Timo, a retired U.S. Marine who voted for Donald Trump. After Trump became president, Alejandra Juarez discovered that federal immigration authorities had taken interest in her case. She soon found herself deported despite protests and congressional bill of emotional pleas from her young daughters. Living Undocumented, a Netflix documentary series, investigates her story and the diversities of migrants caught in the intricate U.S. immigration system where uncertainty and pain often battle dreams. The 6-episode series that's now streaming follows the lives of 8 families from Latin America, Israel, Laos, and Africa who tried to live normal lives in the United States. Despite family members' immigration status, for weeks film crews follow families as they await immigration decisions and try to celebrate birthdays. Bar mitzvahs and family cookouts in Florida, Texas, and Southern Carolina. Families do their best to live in the present while treat their deportation loom because of changing policies and laws. The series becomes as Trump is trying to stop the flow of migrants, many of them feeling violence from coming to the U.S. through the Mexican border. Luis Diaz came to the United States from Honduras by riding the Beast, the feared train from Central America to Mexico. Ron and Karen, a couple from Israel who didn't give their last names, left amid voice and overstayed their visas. Vinny Paikese, a refugee from Laos who has a South Carolina accent, faces deportation after the Trump administration determines a drug convict 15 years made him undesirable. Co-directors Anna Chai and Aaron Seidman said they wanted to create a series that allowed the immigrants to speak for themselves and in settings where they felt comfortable.
This story is from the Journal. Snow, yes, snow is in the forecast for the San Juan Mountains later this week. Michael Charnick, a meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Grand Junction, said a strong cold front is sliding into southwest Colorado from the north, arriving in the San Juan Mountains. Sometime between 9 p.m. and midnight Wednesday, it's bringing a lot of cold air behind it, Charnick said. Thursday morning, there was a chance the high county of San Juan Mountains could receive snow. According to OpenSnow.com, areas around Silverton and Telluride could receive up to 3 inches. The Weather Service says temperatures will drop to about 35 degrees in Silverton on Thursday. The overnight low Thursday into Friday is expected to hover around 10 degrees. Durango likely won't see snow, Charnick said, but it's going to get cold. Durango, during the day, Thursday, is expected to be around 54 degrees. Overnight, however, temperatures will drop to about 16 degrees. Corla Hanks, fire marshal with Durango Fire Protection District, said it is time residents prepare their homes and property for winter-like temperatures. Hanks said it's likely many people are going to turn on their heating system for the first time since last winter. She said residents should make sure chimneys are cleared and faucets are venting properly to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning. She said mobile home owners should also prepare their homes for cold temperatures, like putting up heat tape to make sure water lines don't freeze. Lawn sprinkler systems should also be flushed, she said, and she urges people recreating in the outdoors to take proper precautions. By the weekend, temperatures should rise, albeit slightly. The weather system is calling for a daytime high of 63 in Durango and 49 in Silverton.
Bears packing on pounds before hibernation. Trying to pack on the pounds before hibernation, bear activity is picking up and is up and around Durango. Every fall, bears enter hyperphagia, a voracious feeding period when bears eat as many as 15 to 20,000 calories a day as they try to fatten up before heading to their dens for winter. This feeding frenzy, however, brings many bears into towns or neighborhoods looking for easy foods left out by humans, namely in the way of unsecured trash. In the past couple of years, the city of Durango has delivered more than 2,000 bear-resistant trash cans to homes around town, while at the same time instituting a $100 fine to residents who fail to lock their cans and a barracks in. Steve Barkley of the City of Durango's Code Enforcement Officer said it was relatively quiet summer in terms of bear activity. In the last month, however, more residents are reporting bears rummaging through trash. The town of Bayfield is considering replacement its residential garbage can. Its certified bear-resistant cans. Town trustees are expected to vote on the matter, which could include garbage rate increase on October 15th. Brian Peterson of Bear Smart Durango said his group purchased 50 of the city's Durango's old bear-resistant trash cans, which are being sold for $50 to residents for use of livestock and to feed in chicken feed. Barkley said he hasn't heard too many reports of bears breaking into trash yet. Peterson said he heard otherwise from residents. People have been sending photos of bears getting into bear-resistant trash cans. Peterson said it's just a question of whether that user error, people not locking properly, or is it just mechanical issues with the cans. So we are not Durango, but we have had bear problems in the past, and now is a good time to review our needs and see if we need to make changes. Discourage bears. Out on Bug Point a few years ago, one of the residents took pictures of a grizzly bear family passing through. Better safe than sorry, folks.
I'm unable to find the website for our customary dumb law segment. I opted for this weird news story. This story comes from the internet. Tesla's dog mode prevails in court. It was a very hot day in Dublin, but Ross Hunt, owner of Loki the poodle, left Loki locked up in his Tesla for about an hour. When he came back to the car, it was surrounded by a group of onlookers, including a police officer and a representative of the DSPCA, Dublin Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, who Hunt reported looked as if they were about to break into his car. Hunt tried to explain the dog's mode systems to the officials who have been called by a good Samaritan that passed the car on her lunch hour, and seeing little Loki inside became very alarmed for his safety. Hunt told them that Loki was fine because Tesla's dog mode kept the inside temperature of the car set at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. To follow up on an earlier story about Tesla's dog mode, I want to share the news that the temperature-setting dog mode recently prevailed in a suit against an Irish dog owner who left his dog alone in his Tesla. Tesla's dog mode. It was a very hot day in Dublin, but Ross Hunt, owner of Loki the poodle, left Loki locked up in his Tesla for about an hour. When he came back to his car, it was surrounded by a group of onlookers, including a police officer and a representative of the DSPCA, Dublin Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, who Hunted reported looked as if they were about to break into his car. After I'm sure were some words on both sides, Mr. Hunter was given a summons and had to appear in court. The judge sided with Mr. Hunter and dropped the animal cruelty case against him. What would you think if you found a dog in a closed car on a hot day? Even if you knew there was a dog mode in the car, if you saw a dog with his tongue hanging out trying to hide from the sun with no water in the car, would you have tried to find the owner like the bystanders did and then call the Animal Protection Agency? Now for our weather report with Nolan.
Our current weather data comes from the DCTV weather station located in beautiful downtown Duff Creek. The current temperature is 69 degrees. Today's high was also 70 degrees. The low is 45 degrees. The barometer is at 29.75 inches and falling. Humidity is at 22%. Wind is between 1 and 7 miles per hour from the northwest. Gusts have been up to 19 miles per hour. There was 0.107 inch of moisture in the DCTV weather station today. Moisture for the new month is also 0.107 inch. Moisture accumulation for the year is 10.23 inches. From the National Weather Service, here is the big map. Rain and severe thunderstorms are falling in Washington into the region of the east corner of North Dakota. So you have Washington, I'm guessing down this way. Heavy snow is possible in the area of mountain. Rain with severe thunderstorms is falling in the Washington region of north corner of North Dakota. Okay. Heavy snow is possible in this area of Montana. The rest of the country is clear except for the following areas. Arizona through Texas into the Kansas, there are thunderstorms and rain. Rain begins in Pennsylvania, changes to rain with severe thunderstorms with the Virginias, and ends in Georgia. Along the Atlantic coast to Maryland and North Carolina, we have rain. Oh, that's here. Beginning south along the South Carolina Atlantic coast and traveling through Florida, there is rain and severe thunderstorms. So, now for our exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. Wednesday is breezy with a high of 70 and a low of 29. Thursday is mostly sunny with a high of 43 and a low of 19. Friday is sunny with a high of 47 and a low of 22. Saturday is sunny with a high of 57 and a low of 27. And Sunday is mostly sunny with a high of 63 and a low of 32. Now for our climate change report. CO2 carbon dioxide is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability. This results in significant variations worldwide of moisture and hot and cold temperatures. But the general climate trend is that the planet is slowly warming. Therefore, it is important that you report the CO2 change. The following are the CO2 numbers in parts per million. Last week was 407.96. 2 weeks ago was 408.32. Last year was 405.49. 10 years ago was 383.85. And 50 years ago was 322.38. Thanks to Dr. Peter Tanz of the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration and Micah McGee of the CO2.Earth Network for providing this information. Remember, you can help keep our kids' news show on the air by buying a sponsorship. To become a sponsor, call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to our news director.
And that's it. That's the end of today's DCTV 4-H news program. This is your news director, Lynn. Good night, and thank you for watching.